Hello, I'm Joe Cronauer, and welcome to the June 2025 edition of the Northeast Ohio Catholic Report, where we review some of the great things that have happened in our diocese over the past few months. We begin with the joy and excitement that percolated throughout our region when Bishop Malesic ordained 8 new priests, whom he called to be ambassadors of Jesus Christ.
I want you to give us hope. Give us hope that Christ died for all, and whoever is in Christ is a new creation. In him, God has reconciled us to himself.
This was the largest number of priests ordained in our diocese in recent history, further proof of how our Catholic faith is flourishing in Northeast Ohio.
It's a number that we haven't seen in many years. It's a strong number, it's a good number, and those things, the priest ordinations, those who coming into the church, I think the number of people being confirmed, the Catholic school enrollment is up. All of that, I think, points to a church that is very much alive.
Another joyful moment came in early May when 3 men were ordained to the permanent diaconate. These past few months were also marked with 2 historic happenings. We mourned the loss of one beloved pope and celebrated the election of another. A memorial mass for Pope Francis was held at Cleveland's downtown cathedral on April 28th. Just over 1 week later at the Vatican, tens of thousands of the faithful packed St. Peter's Square as the conclave began and ended in 2 days with the election of Pope Leo XIV, the first pontiff born in the United States. In addition to church leadership, another big theme in these past 3 months has been service. Dozens of people from parishes across our diocese took part in the first diocesan day of service on April 5th. Volunteers from various parishes participated in a variety of service projects on other days as well. For example, during the month of March, Holy Family Parish in Stowe sent missionary teams to North Carolina to assist with hurricane recovery work. And closer to home, parishioners from St. Joseph in Avon Lake delivered flowers to local seniors as part of their Lenten Day of Caring.
I think Jesus would want us to help anybody and everybody we can. I think people living alone, I think a little flower drop off would mean a lot to them.
I love when we get to work together. It's great to see God's work through our kids and giving back to the community at the same time.
We close with a snippet of a story that captured the hearts of many here in Northeast Ohio about a local parishioner's miraculous survival of a ruptured brain aneurysm.
I feel like I always considered myself a pretty religious person, but when this happened to me, it shook us to our core and it brought my faith level to a whole different level.
On January 5th, 2024, our lives changed as we know it. My wife of 17 years, Julianne, had a ruptured brain aneurysm that happened at home. Julianne went through multiple procedures over the next 48 hours once she got to main campus. Come to find out, she had a grade 5 ruptured aneurysm, which is the worst that you can have. So they decided to remove her skull to let her brain expand. At that point, that's when she was in a coma for about a 2-week period.
The power of prayer is real. And the recovery process is still ongoing. I still have a whole another year to go before we see what the finalizations of recovery. Like the brain is still healing, but I feel like I turn to Blessed Mother and ask for her help all the time.
I do feel like God has a plan for Julianne with continuing to share her faith. You know, this is, I think sharing it and sharing her miraculous recovery is good for her. I think it also is good for other people. It gives them hope.
You can read more about Julianne's journey in the May-June issue of our magazine and watch the entire video by scanning the QR code in the article. One reader from St. John Vianney in Mentor was so touched by the story that she is now arranging for Julianne to speak at an upcoming event for their women's ministry. What a great way to keep faith, inspiration, and hope rolling. That's it for this edition. We hope to see you next time.